So, okay, I'm a marketer who is having to deal with the situation, and there's a huge drop in traffic, and my business isn't such that we can think about let's help our customers. We just have to figure out how to get this traffic slump not curving off and falling off a cliff. A marketer comes to you with that question. How would you answer it, or how would you think about answering that question?
Right. Okay, maybe to take the funny thing is the metric of traffic is so far from what I normally look at.
Okay.
Like I would
take a proxy that's similar to, yeah.
Because I think what I would start with is and by the way, if anybody is sitting out there with that situation, I think we have all we're all in this together, and
Yeah.
we have to figure it out. I would say first is try and traffic is always a proxy for people who can take decisions, right? They can take a purchase decision and not take a purchase decision. Then you have some sort of a funnel, and you think about some conversion rates and so on. So in the end, it's all about your customers. I would say if your business has gone to zero, you need to talk to some of your existing customers to figure out what changed about their sentiment. If it has just started to drop, what I would look at is really where the ones that are still coming, where are they going? So I can see that, for example, in my own context is what I'm looking at a lot right now is, like, for example, what has shifted in terms of price points, categories. We talked a bit about makeup before, but for example, now we have a huge surge in interest about self-care and skincare and things like that. So that gives clues already. If your traffic, for me, is hard to tell, because for me that is kind of an inanimate thing that for me would always just be a proxy to more or less customer demand. And then the first thing would just be to drill into it, figure out what has changed in the sentiment. What I'm a big fan of, and I've been using this in all of my different roles with this company, is wherever you go, however big your business is, call 10 customers. Like we look at so many dashboards and get so much quantitative data, especially right now when it's a thing that is driven more by emotions than logic. I feel like 10 times 15 minutes on a phone call, you probably have a pretty decent understanding about what's going on. If you have your CEO coming down on you like this, and you're looking at budgets in particular, in terms of how they are looking against it, I think maybe one argument you could help bring back is that all things considered, while you figure this strategy out, now is a pretty excellent time to figure out where your marginal returns curve for your marketing spend actually was. Meaning the dollars you're cutting are not the smartest dollar. Think about your AdWords spend, right? The first thing you would spend $1 on is not the same thing you would spend dollar number 100,000 every month on. You're basically looking for marginal opportunity all the time. So I think there can be, it's a storm. It's not something we've been in ever before, but actually by now having these unique set of circumstances where you can look at, what happens if I cut my marketing spend by half or my media spend by half? Do I actually see a half in traffic, or do I see a drop off of 15%? And what would that teach me about that curve that we can use to be hopefully in a better shape when we come back? So I think the answer would be in two parts. Try and figure out what is the sentiment that's leading to that traffic change, because it's always people making decisions, either for themselves or for their company. And then second, try and take these very unique circumstances to figure out something about your marginal returns curve, particularly for performance marketing. I think is a very interesting time to figure out what actually happens if I cut my spend in half. Does my traffic actually half, or is it a marginal drop?
Donations to Google and Mark Zuckerberg every month. Do they actually result in anything? That's a great point.